Is your Whirlpool dryer not heating up and it's got you hotter than an oven? Or maybe a stovetop? Well, I'm Dustin with Parts Doctor, and today I'm going to show you how you can use a stovetop or a griddle to test the cycling thermostat off this Whirlpool dryer. But this also applies to some other great manufacturer brands such as Kenmore, Maytag, Amana, and more. So don't worry, you're not cooked. Let's go turn up the heat and get this problem solved. If you need to purchase a new cycling thermostat for your Whirlpool dryer, you can check out our website, partsdoctor.com, where we offer fast shipping and only sell manufacturer-approved genuine replacement parts for all major appliance brands. The cycling thermostat, sometimes known as the operating thermostat, is a component that controls the operating temperature of the dryer. This thermostat monitors the temperature of the air exiting the drum of the dryer before it travels through the exhaust hose to the exterior of your residence. The cycling thermostat operates by opening or breaking the circuit to the heating element once the thermostat reaches the temperature of 155 degrees Fahrenheit. On this thermostat, the operating temperatures are printed on the side of the thermostat. So knowing that, once this thermostat drops 25 degrees, the circuit will complete or close, which will allow the dryer to start heating again. Sometimes this thermostat will fail by either getting stuck open or closed, causing the dryer to either not heat enough or get too hot, causing one of the two thermal fuses to blow. If you are continually blowing the thermal fuse in the blower housing and you do not have an airflow problem in the dryer or exhaust, this thermostat is most likely causing the dryer to malfunction. Tools needed: 1/4-inch nut driver or socket, multimeter, griddle or stove and pan, infrared thermometer. Before working on any appliance, please remember to disconnect it from the power. If you need to move your dryer away from the wall, please disconnect the dryer vent hose on the rear of the machine. To access the cycling thermostat, first take off the terminal cover by removing the 1/4-inch hex head screw at the top of the cover. Once the terminal cover is removed, you can remove the 1/4-inch screws holding the back panel to the machine. Set the back panel aside. The large metal housing on the left side of the back of the dryer is the lint chute assembly. This is where the lint screen filters the air before it leaves the dryer via the exhaust vent. At the bottom of this chute is the blower housing, which contains a large fan wheel that is responsible for moving air through the dryer. The cycling thermostat is below the thermal fuse between the blower fan and the exhaust vent. If you think your thermal fuse might be blown, check out our video on testing and replacing the thermal fuse. I will leave a link in the description to that video, as well as some other commonly failed components that might be causing your dryer not to heat. Before we start to remove the cycling thermostat, it's a good idea to snap a photo of the wiring on the back of the thermostat to reference later in reassembly. With our photo for reference later, we can remove all 4 wires connected to the back of the cycling thermostat and tuck them out of the way. The cycling thermostat is only held in with 1/4-inch hex head screw. Once you remove that, the thermostat will slide out of the blower housing duct. Using the continuity setting on your multimeter, touch a test probe to each of the silver, wider male spade connectors on the opposite sides of the thermostat. At room temperature, the thermostat should be closed or have continuity. If the thermostat does not have continuity at room temperature, it will cause the dryer not to heat and should be replaced. Next, I will show you how to test the opening and closing temperatures of the thermostat. To demonstrate how the cycling thermostat regulates the dryer's temperature, we will use this griddle to show how the circuit will open once the thermostat reaches a temperature of over 155 degrees Fahrenheit. Use your infrared thermometer to check the pan or griddle temperature. You don't want the surface to be too hot that you might damage the thermostat, but it also needs to be above 155 degrees to trigger the internal metal plate in the thermostat. I have disassembled another cycling thermostat so we can get a better idea of how this works. This is considered to be a bimetal thermostat, and what that means is there's a small concave disc inside the metal housing that's made up of 2 different types of metals. As the disc heats up or cools down, the concave shape warps, causing it to press or release a small pin in the thermostat to either complete or break the circuit. This is why you can sometimes hear an audible pop when the temperature of the thermostat moves in and out of operating range. The two smaller wire terminals on the thermostat are for the internal bias heater. The internal bias heater is a small heater made up of resistors inside the thermostat that is used to provide additional heat to the thermostat, allowing the dryer to control the different temperature settings of the dryer. To test this heater, set your multimeter to the ohm setting. The heater should measure approximately 7,000 ohms. If the heater circuit is open or the ohm value is far off from this, the thermostat is bad and should be replaced. By placing the cycling thermostat on a hot surface, we can observe how this allows current to pass through to the heating element until it reaches the temperature of 155 degrees Fahrenheit. Once it hits the max operating temperature, the thermostat will open and not allow current to pass through to the heating element. It will stay open or lack continuity until the internal bias heater cools down roughly 25 degrees. Once it cools down, it will close again and repeat the process. If you need to purchase a new cycling thermostat, make sure you get a manufacturer certified replacement part like the ones that we sell on our website, partsdoctor.com. We'll leave a link in the description below. Search with the model number from the tag on your dryer to be sure you get the correct part. To install your new cycling thermostat, simply slide one metal tab with a screw hole into the blower housing and line up the opposite screw hole with the mounting hole in the housing. Insert the 1/4-inch screw. Referencing the photo you took earlier, reattach the wires to the back of the cycling thermostat. On this model of dryer, the two purple wires attach to the middle connectors of the thermostat and the red wires attach to either of the outer terminals on the cycling thermostat. Reattach the back panel with the 1/4-inch hex head screws and reinstall the terminal cover with the fastener at the top of the panel. Reconnect the exhaust vent hose and plug in your dryer. And that's it. I had a lot of fun making this video and I hope it helped you out. But if it's not your cycling thermostat that's giving you issues, check out the links in the description for some other commonly failed components that lead to your dryer not heating. As always, I'm Dustin Parts Doctor. Until next time, thanks for watching and have a good day.